Hi guys, hope you're all doing really well. So today I filmed this really colourful UV/neon skull look for Halloween. So if you want to know how I got it, then keep watching. So you're going to want to start off by priming your face just to make sure that your skin's prepped for all the face paint that's going to be going on top of it. Now you can see me going in with the NYX HD concealer, and this is in the shade Porcelain, and I'm just doing this basically to cancel out all the redness that I've got on my skin and to hide the blemishes, so when we put the white face paint over top, none of it is going to see through that. And then I'm just going to blend this into my skin with my Real Techniques blending sponge. With a white kohl eyeliner, I'm now starting just to map out the shape of the eyes that I want. And I do this with the white pencil just because it's so much easier to wipe it away if you make a mistake, rather than going in with the black and then you're just going to be left with a massive mess if you do it that way. And the shape I'm making is kind of just like a classic skeleton eye shape, so a bit pointed towards the inner part of your brow, and then more rounded out around the sockets. Here you can see me frowning, so I get those natural kind of frown lines of mine, and I'm just running the white kohl eyeliner in towards them, just so I have a little bit more expression in my face. And now I'm just creating the look of my temples, and later on I go in and fix this up a little bit because I wasn't that keen on how it looked, but I'm just making the kind of rough outline and then going in with more details later on. And I make sure that white pencil is running right underneath where my cheekbone is, well, where it should be, and also I'm matching it up from the bottom and then dragging it to my jawline. I can't really explain it very well, the best way to do it is just to look and see what I'm doing. But everyone's is going to come out a little bit differently just because everyone's facial features are a lot different, so where my cheekbones are might not necessarily be where yours are. And now I'm going in and just sketching out where my nose is going to be, and it's not really necessary to do this because once I went in with the white face paint I kind of lost the lines I originally made, but it's good just to have a little rough outline. And now all that space that you lined away, just fill that in with a black face paint. I'll list all the face paints I am using down below. This is just, I had a little Smithy's face paint set, and this is just what I used, but it's a water activated paint, so first it kind of looked a little bit patchy and almost kind of grey, but later on I go in and fix it with a thicker black face paint. Now I'm just filling in the other portion of my face with a white face paint, and you don't have to be too neat with this because we're going to go over it in really bright colours anyway, but creating the white base is just going to make any colour that you put on top of that pop a lot more. But I just went with like a little concealer brush, and then I went in with my Real Techniques sponge and just kind of bounced it over the white face paint to make sure it was nice and flat and that the coverage was kind of. And yeah, my brush broke on me like halfway through using it, so that was brilliant. And now you can see me just filling in the nose of the skeleton, and I'm making sure that the two lines leading up towards my brow bone aren't at the same level, so they look a little bit uneven. And now you just want to fill in the sockets of your eyeballs just using that black face paint again. And I do this and then I go in with a black eyeshadow just to make sure that that doesn't crease, because face paint, especially water activated face paint like the ones I got, can really badly crease, so make sure that you're setting it with a black powder as you go along. Also, if you have one, get a black kohl eyeliner and then run it along your lash line and waterline. I didn't actually have one to hand. I don't know why I didn't do it. Looking back at it now, I wish I'd have filled it in, because you can see that like layer of skin on my eye and it just doesn't look cute. So yeah, make sure that you fill that in too. And sorry, my camera died and I didn't realise till like a couple of minutes of doing the colourful face paint part, but I'm just taking this Technique face paint colour palette and using the Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush, and I'm just stippling colours on. So I started off with the purple, then I go in with a blue and then mixing that into a green and then going in with a yellow. Do this in whatever kind of colourway that you want, or whatever kind of colours that you want on your face. They could be bright, they could be dark, whatever. I just had this vision of like purples and blues and reds and stuff, so that's just what I'm doing now. As you can see, I was pleasantly surprised of how pigmented that red was, so what I'd done, because I put way too much on my brush, I just packed a little bit onto my face, wiped my brush off, and then went in and stippled it in with the brush again and with my finger. And I only used the one brush for this. If you have two, make sure you use two, because I was just wiping my brush off as I went along. And here you can see me, I go in with the red and I mix it in with a bit of black. And then I didn't really like how that looked, so then I went in with this like metallic-y gold, and then I didn't like how that looked, so then I went in with a brighter orange and then mixed that into the red that we put down previously. And that I thought just looked a lot better overall. It kind of matched the whole vibe. Yeah, you can see there. It's just a nicer shade to mix in. Yeah, that's me nodding. I liked it, it was good. But it's all trial and error, like, I didn't plan this out, I just kind of went freehand. And I'm just adding in some yellow now to the orange to make sure that it all sets in, and then going in with the blue. And then mixing it in later on with like a paler blue. And then I go in with a white and kind of blend out that paler blue into the white of my chin. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And then, yeah, I mixed the yellow and green together to get this, like, pukey kind of looking colour. Looking back, I don't really know if I liked it or not. But anyway, I wanted to go for the sea blue to green look on my chin. Yeah, I had an itch on my eye then. And starting off with the skeleton teeth. I'm not great at skeleton teeth, to be honest. You'll probably find better tutorials to do it on YouTube. But first I just take a black face paint and then I'm lining the kind of smile of my skeleton. And doing this, I realised that the temples, not the temples, what I'm talking about, the cheekbones that I had drawn previously weren't quite accurate. So I went in with more colour and kind of blended that away, so later on I could go with the black again and fix up the mistake I had made. At first I tried to do the teeth with a black face paint, but it wasn't really giving off the vibe I wanted, so I went in with the NYC liquid eyeliner and I just created these little squiggly lines going from my the insides of my lips kind of, and then fading it upwards towards my eyes. And I release pressure off the brush as I flick it up, just so the line at the top gets thinner. And then for your bottom teeth, you want to do the same thing. Hold the brush and then release the pressure as you go down towards your chin to create that thick to really thin line. Then I go in with the liquid liner and just clean up the lines on the nose that I'd made just to make them a little bit sharper. Then I'm taking these neon UV paints and just using the same colour that I've already got down on the face paint. So for the purple face paint I've got laid down, I'm using the purple UV paint obviously. And with the blue, using the blue one, the green, using the green, yellow, using yellow, blah blah blah. You get the drill. And I'm just doing the same thing, just getting that paint and stippling it on. I was really annoyed after I filmed this as well because I didn't realise I actually didn't own like a full big UV light. I had this little torch that the UV paints came with I kept on shining on my face just to make sure that it was glowing, and it was, to be fair. But I imagine that when you're in a club and then they turn the UV lights on, your face would be fucking popping, so just trust me, it's gonna look good. Please excuse my voice throughout this whole entire video. It is croaky. It's not even early or late at night, so I can't even use that as an excuse. It's just croaky, I'm sorry. And like I said earlier, now I'm just going to go in with a thicker black paint just to go over the black paint that we originally put down to make it less patchy and just kind of deepen the look of it a little bit more. And after I've done all the black parts and all the shading, I go in with the white face paint and then just highlight. I highlight a little bit on my nose, around the eye sockets and also around the cheekbones, because whatever you shade you want to also add a little bit of highlight just to give that definition again. I also go between the black lines of my teeth with the white just to make sure that they're brought forward a bit and they look a little bit more realistic than they did before. You can skip this step if you want, it wasn't completely necessary. I just thought, well, I wanted to know how it looked and I thought it looked pretty good afterwards, to be fair. But yeah, once you throw your bomb ass wig on, you're pretty much good to go. So I really hope that you guys liked this video. It was so fun to make, proper stepped out of my comfort zone, and I'm really impressed with how it turned out overall. So have a really good and safe Halloween, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.